You just found the perfect product that helps with staying cool during hot summer runs. No more gross warm water. Stay cool with this product from Gear Handle. This hydration tube cover helps keep your water cool and easily accessible. Stay hydrated during those long summer runs or even delay from freezing in the winter. Plus, they're compatible with various brands of water bladders and come in various colors. Visit gearhandle.com and use promo code H2O today.
Caroline, you should tell them about the newest thing that Bloody Happy Hour is doing.
A Patreon.
It's a Patreon. What is that?
That means you're basically like a VIP member, and there's 2 different levels that you can, subscribe to, and you get some perks. You maybe get like merch a little earlier. You get
exclusive merch.
You could get first dibs on signing up for a live show. You get episodes with no commercials.
You get our video because our video is no longer available on YouTube. It is only on Patreon. And the most important to me is you get videos of our live shows. So if you are far away and you couldn't make our last live show, it will be on the website. We're going to record this future live show. It's going to be on Patreon, but also bonus episodes each month. You guys tell us all the time you want more episodes. This is a way for you to get more episodes. So you're going to get our basic Tuesday, Thursdays that we always put out, right? But if you're on a Patreon, you're VIP, you're going to get more.
I can't wait to talk about in detail some more stories because I always have a lot of details I want to go to. I can law-splain. I might read a book.
They just unsubscribed. This is also going to be the exclusive place that Dirty Chat is going to go to. So if that is breaking some of your hearts, just go ahead and subscribe now. In order to hear the full content, it's going to be Patreon. Where do they go again?
Patreon.com/bloodyhappyhour.
Don't forget to
stay aware,
stay alive,
and always be DTF.
This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Hey y'all, I'm April.
And I'm Caroline.
And this
is your Bloody Happy Hour.
Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody Happy Hour.
Hey y'all, this is April.
And this is Caroline.
Bloody Happy Hour here. We are your hostess with the mostest.
I love it.
Today is our day with all the news. And it has been some juicy news. I didn't have to do the quickie this week, but just the things that I've seen.
Yeah, and
seems like a juicy week.
Yeah, yes. It's a lot of juice. Let me do a few quick updates first. Corey Richins, they had a pre-trial hearing, preliminary hearing, whatever, which was very entertaining because the what they're trying to argue, her defense, is just really kind of sad.
Yeah.
It's really sad. But the whole the point of that is that we do have a trial date set. It's going to be April 28th, 2025, which that's when it basically starts the beginning of May.
Okay.
If they keep, which they should keep it set then, and then I don't know what the latest ruling in the Koberger situation was, but they had a hearing today on change of venue. So I guess he'll come back with the ruling, but that trial is supposed to happen in June 2025. So if we have May and June, I'm gonna have to
take a hiatus.
Take out, I'm gonna have to sell a kidney.
Take your 401k out.
I don't even if I have that. I mean, I did substitute, so I think I might have some money in some TRS account.
Very little, probably.
So Corey Richins is gonna be a 3-week trial. If you don't know about that, then Google her and you can find out all about.
She's the Moscow Mule.
Yes,
fentanyl
and then it's like
book.
she like put it in a sandwich beforehand, and then it wasn't strong enough to kill him. So then she had to put it in the Moscow Mule. But now we find out at this hearing that she didn't put it in the Moscow Mule. She put it in a shot, a lemon shot. They just said lemon shot. And she put it in the shot prior to the Moscow Mule. So he would take it all
really quick.
Yes.
Look at her.
And that same day, he was like starting, or maybe it was the day of the sandwich, he was feeling sick, but she was, and this was on Valentine's Day, she was at her boyfriend's house. So she was with her paramour.
What does paramour mean?
That's what, I guess it means side piece.
Oh.
But they're calling him a paramour. She was with her paramour. And he was like, I feel really bad. I think I need to go to the hospital. And she's like, take a nap.
Die in your sleep.
But guess what? This bitch deleted all her phone. But guess whose phone is not deleted?
His.
The paramour.
Oh.
And his.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
Well, that was on.
And then he died. And then a year later, she writes the children's book about how to grieve a spouse or whatever.
Horrible.
And
she was on, it was on Good Morning America or something that just like comes on automatically like in the morning.
Yeah, like a Utah, probably some local Utah, because this is in Utah.
Yeah. So it was on and I heard in the background and so people was like, do you know the story? And I was like, yes. I said, we talked about it on the podcast. He goes, why do you want to go to Utah then? Like something's always happening in Utah. Why would you ever want to go? It's the only game we're not going to this year is the Utah game. But I was like, I want to go to Utah. And he's like, it sounds like we don't need to go to Utah.
There's so many.
Or he could get away with my murder in Utah.
Well, you would. I think. I feel like nobody can get away with it because they all think that they are, I guess, void of getting found out because they hide behind the Mormon. Yeah.
Who knows?
Madeline Soto update. Her cause of death was by strangulation. It's a homicide. Her hyoid bone was not intact. Stephen Stern is the one who's charged, and he's also charged with 60 sex crimes against her, the 13-year-old Madeline. He is the boyfriend of her mom.
Okay.
And that was, I think, that's all that we know so far. No trial date has been set.
And nothing with the mom.
The mom had a recent interview, and I haven't watched it, and I haven't really heard. All I know is until she's arrested, it's what?
Yeah.
Great. Go interview.
Gosh.
Susan Smith, you sent me this update, is that it's just, all it was is that she's up for parole in October, November.
Yes.
Which is like tomorrow, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And if they better not. They can't. They cannot release her.
Well, I would hope that they wouldn't, but then they need a good reason to keep her in. I mean, besides
the fact that she killed her kids and
lied about it.
All the police officers.
Yes. You just never know these days. You never know.
You really don't. So then, and then Sebastian Rogers, which I don't think I've talked about his case. Have you talked about his case in an update?
Yes, he was the boy with autism.
Yeah.
That, mom woke up the next morning and he wasn't in the room. And they saw him on camera, like kind of out in the neighborhood. He has not been seen. Mom's kind of sketchy because she had a boyfriend that was out of town, or it's stepdad. Dad has been very vocal. But there's no leads. Did they find his glasses? Or they found some glasses. I don't know, but it's just a missing boy with autism. It was the same time as Riley.
Yeah.
Riley Strain.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was because I had heard about his case and it was just like, well, I kept getting confused because they were like, oh, well, you didn't know which direction to go in because there's like the parents were talking and I was like, well.
Yeah. But there's a $50,000 reward out. So parents are hopeful that that's going to bring about some information. But
I would think people are greedy.
Yeah.
Or at least a tip.
I think they know more. So we would need them to want the money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's, I think, all I have. Any more updates for any cases? Don't know.
Wait, what's going on with, I'm obsessed with all these jailhouse phone calls from good-looking, tattooed, faced-up guy.
Oh,
What's his name? Are you about
Wade
to talk
Wilson?
about him?
No,
Yeah.
Wade Wilson.
Wade Wilson.
I know he just got his sentencing, but I didn't hear.
Is it over?
Well, yeah. I mean, he
got death?
Yes, he interrupted. I knew he interrupted the judge, but I don't know what. Oh yeah, they're calling him the Deadpool killer.
Mm-hmm. Because the character on Deadpool's name's Wade Wilson.
Oh, he was sentenced to death.
Okay.
No emotion. But I had already heard some of those calls, and he's like trying to beg his girlfriend or whatever,
or at one point girlfriend.
Yes, this was before he was on trial, before the trial started.
Mm-hmm.
All those jailhouse calls, and it's like,
and then one with his dad and
he's trying to make them feel bad.
Yes, and the dad rips him apart. But now there is boyfriend Joey, so now it's out that he is bisexual.
Wait, now he has a boyfriend
named Joey. Boyfriend named Joey. So all those conversations are going out about them getting married while he's in prison, and
what?
How the people that really know him and love him know that he was bisexual this whole time. It is just gross because he was talking dirty to the girl and then shitty to his mom, and then now all these boyfriends. I sent you one of the last ones that I heard, but they're all over TikTok, and I guess after the trial's over, they are all...
Okay, yeah, because a lot of stuff comes out, and then people start looking for it. Oh, see, this is why we're a team.
Go find those
I have
conversations.
to go find those, because, yeah, that's wild.
But you hear how much he does not give a shit. Like, at one point, he's laughing
remorse.
about it,
yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I was stupid to steal her car after I killed her. Like, I mean, we just talked about it like it was a recipe.
Yeah, yeah.
Put olive oil in the pan and
saute
the onions, like just like that.
Just like that. That's exactly what it was. Did you hear about the lady who went to Disney and died, and now they're suing Disney?
No.
And that stuff. Okay, so this family goes to Disney. They go eat at a restaurant, and they warn the waiter. They're like, hey, she has these, like, severe allergies to, like, peanut allergies and all kinds of things. The dinner was at Raglan Road Irish Pub and Restaurant in Orlando, and this was in October 2023. And she asked several times. They're like, hey, can allergies be accommodated? And she has, I don't know, it just said certain food allergies. But the waiter, like, assured them, like, yes, we can accommodate that, and blah, 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 blah. Well, she has a severe allergic reaction, is rushed to the hospital, and dies.
Oh, my goodness. Where's your EpiPen? It's probably not enough.
So then they file this wrongful death lawsuit against Disney. Well, Disney comes back.
Oh, shoot.
And they say, no. You actually signed up for a free trial of Disney Plus, and so you signed our terms and agreement. Yes. I'm not kidding. I hate Disney.
Cancel your Disney Plus
freaking Disney.
Oh my goodness.
Disney. So this is Disney filed court documents in May saying that the $50,000 lawsuit should be dismissed and resolved by individual arbitration because the terms of agreement were signed whenever the husband signed up for a free trial of the streaming service Disney Plus. The filing says that he accepted the same terms he used when he bought his tickets to the park on the website.
How snakish.
How shitty is that? Lawyers for the company said that the users have to select the checkboxes and the hyperlink and blah, 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 and they agreed to the terms and service and whatever. So that's basically the point of that. Is like,
we need them to. I bet they'll be able to get past that. They need Jose Baez or somebody.
Just pay him. You'll have all the money. Like, are you kidding? Wow. Disney. Don't put it past Disney.
Yes, man.
Don't. let's talk about one of the dumbest murders ever on the planet. Like, dumber than dumb.
Okay.
I hate this guy. Is the worst. Like, first of all, just like his face annoys me, and he is just like a twerpy. He's like a little twerp weirdo guy.
Who is this guy?
Robert Tellis. And it's not Teus. It's Tellis. Okay. Former Clark County public administrator, which we don't even know what the hell your job is. It's some kind of elected position.
Where's Clark County at?
We're in Las Vegas.
Okay.
So he gets arrested 5 days after a neighbor finds this guy, Jeff Gearman. The neighbor finds the neighbor finds Jeff's body in his front, like, walkway area at his house.
Okay.
So this guy, Jeff, is dead. Neighbor finds him. And he is a investigative journalist. Okay. So he had been investigating this Robert Tellis guy because there had been claims that he was having inappropriate relationships with people at work, and that he was inappropriate relationships. He was cheating, and he's married, by the way. So he's cheating on his wife, and he's like basically like threatening. He's like threatening them because he doesn't want to lose his position as this public administrator, whatever the hell
Sounds
he
important.
is. Like there's like literally he's over like 9 people in his office or something like that, but he thinks he's a big deal. So the police find surveillance video. This guy is wearing a the suspect is wearing a ginormous straw, like, garden hat. Okay. A bright orange reflective vest jacket thingy. He has this duffel bag, and he's wearing Nike shoes, and he has a certain walk because as you would find out when I watched him testify, he wears lifts in his shoes, and he pulled his shoe off and told the jury about his lifts that he wears.
Because he's that short?
He tried to say with his lifts that he was like 6'3", and we're like, buddy, you're literally like 5'8". And your lifts are not making you that tall. Anyway, so a person in a large straw sun hat and orange safety vest was spotted walking from Gearman's house. Police also spotted a maroon Yukon Denali.
Ooh, say
They identified that the make and the model and the color was registered to Robert Tellis' wife.
Oh, okay.
So the car this car is on surveillance camera of the orange guy getting out of this car and going and like all this they have every single thing on camera, every step. You even see him walking to the guy's house. The guy comes out of the house, and you see like a blur of moving, and he slits his throat, stabs him, stabby. It's all of you see him walk away, and then on another camera, you see him get into this car. On another camera, you see him. No, you don't.
There we go.
But also what happens is they end up they find out that they find him or whatever. They search his home. They also got a DNA sample because he offered his DNA. They find in his home a straw hat that had been cut into pieces, and it's found underneath like the couch. And they also find a bloody sneaker that looks exactly like the sneakers that are in the video, but that was all planted.
Oh, who planted this?
The police.
Oh, the police.
Yeah, the police planted it. Also, his DNA was under the fingernails of the guy who was stabbed, who he killed, but that was planted as well.
That's what I was.
And there was also like on his phone, like there was pictures of the house of where this Jeff guy lived, but that was planted as well.
He wanted to buy it.
Yeah, he wanted to buy it, and there was like also directions to the house from his phone. Planted. All planted.
So he's just up there, deny.
The thing is,
he wants his job back when this is all over.
At first, he completely is like, I want to go pro se. I want to represent myself. Like, I don't. And the judge is like begging him basically not to. Finally, he agrees not to. So he has a lawyer. But he gets up on the stand and he testifies in his own defense, but it's a narrative testify. It's a testifying without being questioned by your own attorney. So he basically gets up there,
reads something,
and tells his story to the jury.
And then gets off.
And then gets crossed by the defense. So he just gets up there and he starts talking and telling the story. And that's when he starts telling about the lifts in his shoe and all the things, like all the stuff. Mm-mm. It is so bad. And he's just so cringy and creepy. And he has like a big, huge bald head. And he looks like that like character from whatever the show is. I don't know. Anyway, he continued to say he didn't do it. But like we know that from the evidence that was presented and all the things, like this journalist had already written one story about him and was getting ready to write another story about him, and he was getting embarrassed because he didn't want all the stuff to come out about him because he's trying to get back into office. Mm-hmm. So also another reason why they do this like narrative kind of testimony is because the lawyer probably is like, I know that I can't defend you, and this is the only way I can defend you is if you just get up there and you give your own testimony and I don't ask questions. Something like that.
Yeah.
So this could be how, as far as his testimony, this could be how like Sarah Boone trial goes. Like she could give a narrative thing.
Oh, God. Can you imagine that?
I can't.
So, do you think the judges don't want them to do pro se? Because the judges are always trying to tell them not to.
Okay, they don't want them to do pro se because they know that it's just a lot more on them when the case, if they get found guilty and then the case comes back on appeal. You just have to make like a bigger record and a more like, because
easier chance for you to get a new trial because there's more ways to make mistakes, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or at least somebody can find, oh, well, this happened, or some like little loophole like they always do. So, and this dude ended up pleading not guilty, obviously, and luckily the jury was a smart one and they found him guilty, and he was sentenced to life in prison, but with the possibility of parole after 20 years. He is married and he has like 2 kids.
Oh, wow.
I don't even know how.
Conjugal visits. Vegas, so probably so.
Now we get to the big story of the week. The big breaking news. This just came out yesterday, and we're going to first listen to a little bit of a clip just to prepare us for what we're about to hear, because it is all the juice and all the tea.
February 4th, 2021, Sandra Birchmore was found dead in her Canton, Massachusetts apartment. The charges filed today in federal court allege that she was in fact murdered by Matthew Farwell 3 days earlier. At the time of her death, Sandra Birchmore was a 23-year-old woman with her entire life ahead of her, and she was pregnant with her first child. We allege that Sandra Birchmore survived years of grooming, statutory rape, and then sexual violence, all at the hands of Matthew Farwell, who was employed throughout their relationship as an officer and then detective for the Stoughton Police Department.
For the who?
And when it became clear to Mr. Farwell that he could no longer control Sandra Birchmore, he allegedly silenced her permanently. This morning, Matthew Farwell was arrested on a federal grand jury indictment, charging him with 1 count of killing a witness or victim. Specifically, Mr. Farwell is charged with violating Title 18 United States Code 1512 for killing Sandra Birchmore with the intent of preventing her from communicating information about his possible commission of federal crimes. How did this all unfold? What happened here? Well, back in 2010, a 12-year-old Sandra Birchmore applied to join the Stoughton Police Department's Explorers program, which introduces teens to policing. Officer Matthew Farwell was an instructor in that program. And as alleged in court documents, he befriended Sandra Birchmore, contacted her online, went to the library with her, became friends on Facebook, essentially groomed her. And then he committed statutory rape by having sex with her when he was a 27-year-old police officer, and she was just 15 years old. Mr. Farwell continued to have a sexual relationship with Sandra Birchmore until her death 8 years later, allegedly meeting her for sex regularly when he was on duty and being paid by the Stoughton Police Department.
Wow.
Okay.
So she was pregnant by him?
Mm-hmm. So that's kind of overview. So let me just give you all the tea. So, and I'll repeat some of that stuff. But so this week, federal authorities dropped the bombshell that Matthew Farwell, a former Stoughton, Massachusetts police detective, was indicted on staging her death. It's alleged that he staged her death, and that because they were saying that she committed suicide. By the way, Stoughton is right next door to Canton.
What happened in Canton?
You ever heard of Karen Reed?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And all there.
Damn, they just got a whole bunch of crooked
You ever
cops
heard
around
of
there.
David Walsh and Anna Walsh? Remember Anna Walsh, who was chopped up into pieces?
Yeah.
And he did all those Google searches on his son's iPad? That's also in this area.
Okay. Well, Massachusetts is about to get on the list.
Oh, it's so bad. Okay, so the death of 23-year-old Sandra Birchmore in 2021 was initially ruled as suicide, but her family and supporters started speaking out about her death. They're like, no, this is not a suicide. They're going to media. They're going everywhere. They're like, they filed a lawsuit. They said that this Farwell guy was the one who did it. They're like, she was pregnant, and we know she was so excited to have the baby. She was like getting clothes and doing all the things. There's no way that she committed suicide. So he finally gets charged after the Massachusetts State Police Department and the Norfolk, because this is Norfolk County. That's the same county that Canton is in. And it's their DA, who the police department and the DA have covered this up for 3.5 years. They've not let it, it's just the same thing as happened in Karen Reed, in my opinion. And they... Where's it going with that? Yeah.
They covered it up.
Yeah. So they covered it up. So the reason that it's coming out now is because the FBI got involved. And the FBI found over 32,000 text messages between him and her. Him and her.
Did anybody know about this?
Yeah. Yeah. So Sandra Birchmore, well, she first applied for this Police Explorers program in March 2010 when she was 12. Matthew Farwell, he was a volunteer for this program. And the person who started the program was another officer, and his name is Robert Devine, I believe. And he also is part of this.
Okay.
So apparently there's 3 officers that were all having sex with her.
Oh.
And... But this is the one who I think she was most consistently doing it with, and especially it was the one that she got pregnant by. So it was, like the interview said, they started communicating online in 2012. He was 26, she was 15, and they would meet up at the library where he would sexually groom her under the guise of providing academic tutoring. And they have text messages out the ass about all kinds of, just everything. And it even goes into talking about how he wishes that once they finally did have sex, he wished that he had sex with her when she was younger.
Oh, he waited too late.
Yep. And these are in text messages of all that happening, all these conversations. Birchmore, when she became an adult, Farwell basically tried to have more of a controlling and abusive relationship with her. So he was really into choking her, and he was really into the whole just rough.
And the poor thing didn't know any different, probably. She was like, well, this is probably how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So, according to prosecutors, some sexual encounters happened while he was on duty, meaning that his acts could be violations of federal laws, including coercion and enticement, deprivation of rights under the color of law, and wire fraud. Now, I listened to some things about what that even means, because to me, I don't really know what I just said. But wire fraud is when you do something over state lines, and that's how the FBI gets involved. So I think they didn't go over state lines, and I don't really understand it, but it's something about how he was paid, or I guess since he was on duty, it's something about, that's how the federal stuff gets involved.
Okay.
October 2020, Birchmore told Fairwell that she wanted to have a child. He agreed. He said he would impregnate her in exchange for her silence about the criminal sexual encounters. But whenever she finally did tell him that she was pregnant in December, he responded, quote, poorly and became physically violent with Birchmore. That's when she told multiple friends that he had pushed her and shoved her and grabbed things from her hands and put her in a chokehold. So she started, so once she was pregnant, she finally was, I think, telling friends about it because he started becoming more aggressive because, oh, by the way, he's married and he has 3 kids. And
Of course he is.
This baby, it was something like I think it might have been the day that he killed her or allegedly killed her was the same day that his wife gave birth to their 3rd baby.
Oh, wow.
And now I'm like 99% sure it's like the same day, but basically like he just had his baby and like after he like kills this chick and then goes and has a baby.
Goes and brings somebody.
I mean, not only is he killing her, but he's killing her and her baby.
And
their
Their baby.
So, one of Birchmore's friends called the Stoughton Police Department January 2021 and allegedly spoke up about the sexual abuse, and an employee with the department later informed Farwell of the call, and then he told the employee, he's like, never tell anyone this information. So, like, this police department knows about the stuff.
Yeah.
So Farwell allegedly confronts Birchmore by texting her and saying, what else do I have to worry about now? What other friend is going to call up here and do something? So she's still alive. Mm-hmm. And then it was at this point to where prosecution says that he began plotting to kill her because now it's getting out there. Now she's pregnant. She's going to have the baby. Everybody's going to find out. Mm-hmm. His family's going to find out. Mm-hmm. His wife's going to find out. So you got to kill him.
Yeah, you're going to lose too much.
You might as well
tie up those loose ends.
Yeah, nobody will know. You're a police. You're an officer.
They'll always believe you.
They're going to believe you, of course. Plus, you have all your buddies who are in on it with you. So, February 1st, 2021, Farwell told Birchmore that he was going to her apartment, and he's like, hey, I'm coming over. I think she had given him a key at this point or something. Anyways, it's on surveillance footage of him coming into the apartment. By the way, she's like 4'9", like she's real short and she's real tiny, and he's like 6'4". So he's obviously a bigger guy, obviously. He comes into her apartment complex. He's wearing like a COVID mask. He's not wearing it for COVID. He's wearing it to cover his identity or trying to disguise himself. He allegedly strangled Birchmore before repositioning her body. First responders 3 days later find her in her apartment in a seated position with a strap around her neck tied to the doorknob. So a strangulation.
Tied to the doorknob?
So he basically strangled her, killed her, and then made it look like a suicide.
Oh.
Because it was like her. I don't even know how. I don't know. But
where's her parents?
They're the ones who got. I mean, I don't know like where actually they are, but they are the ones who got this rolling again.
Okay.
And there's the Facebook page, all the things, and they've been trying, and then really the way that got the ball rolling on this is because of the Karen Reed stuff, because all the crooked cops, because there's crossover with police departments and like Massachusetts State Police.
Yeah.
Because obviously state police, but like it's like the first person who was going to investigate the John O'Keefe's death was also the same person to go investigate Sandra Birchmore's death.
Yeah.
Or like it's like all like there's a bunch of intertwined, there's like it's all a whole mess. Because just right before you asked that, I was going to say her family was DTF because they knew she was so excited about this baby and that there was no way she committed suicide, and they knew that this guy had something to do with it based on what she had been saying recently.
And how old is she right now?
She was 23.
23. So they had been messing around a long time.
Yeah, because, think about it. They met when she was 12. They first hooked up.
It's all she knew.
When she was, did they hook up when she was 15?
15 is what you said.
Yeah. And then it lasted for this long. I'm pretty sure they even like hooked up before he got married.
Oh, he got married during this time.
I think he got married in 2013 is what I saw. I think it was the same year that they started hooking up, he got married. Yeah, it's like all the stuff that came out was like, I think 40 pages of stuff. And you should see the text messages are like brutal. It's just like, you know, I want to do anal on you, but before I come, I want to pull your ponytail and I want you to look back and I don't know. It's like choke.
Oh,
it's like
my
all
goodness.
this. It's like dirty and graphic and sorry, but that's what it is. And that's what we do here. That's what we do here. So the family filed a wrongful death lawsuit in December 2022, accusing him and 2 other officers. So this Farwell, he has a twin brother, William. So it's Matthew and William, and the other one is Robert Devine. And they are alleging that all 3 of them had sexual relations with her when she was a minor. And yeah, the Devine guy is the one who started the program.
Oh my goodness, they started it.
Yes.
For this reason. Not to help anybody.
And Robert Devine, that guy who started the program, he has like stuff in his past that like with minors. And they have a Facebook message from him to her, to Sandra, talking about wanting to meet up for sex. So like they have all the things. But of course the 3 denied it. They said this was whenever this family filed this lawsuit. They came out, they denied it. But then they all of a sudden magically like decided to voluntarily leave their position as police officers. They resigned voluntarily. But you're innocent, so why are you resigning?
They're ready to retire.
And now you're just going to be on a desk job or something? So earlier this year, when they found her and she was pronounced dead, they did she got her cause of death and everything, and they determined that she had died by that it was suicide. So the family then goes and orders another forensic pathologist. They hired, I guess, somewhere outside of Massachusetts because hell. And he determined it was a homicide, not a suicide. So then that's what also got this ball rolling. And so now this guy, the FBI comes out, they do all this stuff, they get all the things. He gets arrested like literally, I think 2 days ago. Oh, wow. This is like hot off the press. Yeah. And so, by the way, her apartment was in Canton. Okay. So, I mean, that's how close these 2 places are. It's like Woodway or Waco and Lorena or whatever. And yeah,
that's a whole lot of dirty cops in 1 year.
Yes.
It's a whole lot to swallow.
Because the FBI is investigating the Karen Reed situation and all that. The FBI is investigating this case. The FBI is investigating the Anna Walsh and Brian Walsh case. Like, they're in all of they just live in Massachusetts. Do not go to Massachusetts.
Do not.
And then, like 2 weeks ago, I was at a work thing, and I ran into this guy from Boston, and I was obviously I had to talk about it. I was like, "Do you know about the Karen Reed case and Sandra Birchmore?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I live right over there. I live in Stoughton." And I was like,
"What?"
Yes. And he was like, "Oh, we all think that Karen Reed is innocent." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I love that! It's the damn McAlberts." And I had to calm myself down because I was about to get excited. But wild. What a bunch of douchebag police officers these people are. And they just have they're not all that way. I hope that just the 10% or maybe hopefully less of officers are this bad, but that's bad.
Oh, that's bad on so many. I mean, the Karen Reed, that's bad. This is bad. But here's the thing. Pedophiles are everywhere, and they're going to go in every occupational area or every professional area. They usually tend to go towards places where their kids are, like schools and stuff. But the fact to me, this is horrible, that you're opening up this youth program, always is a red flag. Example, coach, what's the football coach? Damn it, from Penn State.
Oh,
shoot.
I know. I know. Is that the...
that I'm supposed to do? Somebody's yelling at me right now. Coach. I want to say Berkowitz, but that's not it.
No, keep going and I'll...
Anyways, he did the same thing. It's a story I've been
Sandusky.
Sandusky.
Oh.
It's always a red flag. And
We have to do that. Oh, my gosh. Yes, because
Yeah.
I don't really know all of it.
I was watching fell asleep on the Al Pacino movie, and it was pretty good. And I listened to a couple of podcasts. I just need to sit down and write it, and we need to get our friend of ours went to Penn State. She knew some of the football players.
Oh, 8 young boys over 15 years. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, is that it?
So there you go. Yep, that's it.
All the good news. We will see y'all Thursday for a full episode. We are staying in Texas, and in honor of football season, we are going to do a Friday Night Light Murders.
Ooh, let's go.
Don't forget to
Stay aware.
stay alive.
And always,
Always.
like Sandra Birchmore's family, be DTF.
BTTF.
Down to find the killer.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production. Are you a podcaster? Let's talk podcast hosting. Are you tired of your current podcast host? Need real support in a community that gets it? At Rogue Media Network, we offer top-tier podcast hosting services to help you thrive. From hosting and distribution to dedicated support, we've got you covered. Starting as low as $25 a month. Join our community of passionate podcasters today. Contact us at hello@roguemedianetwork.com.